Everyone, this is Nader here with Nasty Nate TV, and today we're doing a late night evaluation of this new set that came out, all our yesterdays. So if you're like me, you kind of saw the cards in passing maybe, but haven't had a chance to really dive into the cards, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So we're gonna read each card carefully. We're gonna try to figure out what it could interact with and see how it actually works. Because I think I've read a few of them. I said, oh yeah, okay, maybe yeah, but I haven't really dove down to each card. So let's do that right now. But first, talk a little bit about the pack art. Pack art is actually pretty cool. We got our scary looking Klingon. I can't figure out this, but he looks exactly like someone I know personally. So I'll have to figure it out someday. Maybe it's TK or someone. Anyway, yeah, we got the card set, but we'll go through them individually here. All right, let's go. Okay, so we're in Lackey. We got the cards pulled up in order, and we're just gonna go through them one at a time. All right, first we'll just maybe add them to the deck as we go. Okay, uh, anachronistic, anachronistic meddlers. All right, here we go. Anachronistic meddlers. One cost duel. That's interesting. And it's we see it right away. We see the Harbinger keyword. Okay. So Harbinger keyword. Let's walk through this. Opponent places this dilemma on your incomplete non-headquarters mission. At the end of your next turn, this dilemma is going to be placed beneath this mission. Okay, so this is how you have to think of it. So you okay, you're placing it on an incomplete. You're gonna place it on you. Okay, you as the okay, your opponent. This is fucking already confusing. All right, your opponent, who is the owner of this card, is gonna place it on an incomplete. So okay, so if you own this card, you get to place it wherever you want. All right, frickin' first thing we got it taken care of. Oh boy. Okay. And then at the end of the next turn, this dilemma is placed beneath this mission. Okay, so as the person that owns this dilemma, I am going to be selectively putting it at a mission. Um, and at the end of the turn, this dilemma is gonna go, or the next turn, this is gonna go under that mission. So you could, and this has to be incomplete too. So you could imagine you might want to be putting these under the mission you don't expect your opponent to go. Um, if it has this one, actually, I think is kind of a weird one because it has an effect on the mission it's at. So you might want to put this at the same mission um, that your opponent is attempting at. So okay, so there's already kind of that strangeness here, but let's look at this one in particular. Okay, so when you begin a mission attempt at this mission, the opponent on your left may draw 2 extra and spend 2 extra. Okay, so you're basically trying to uh, put this at a mission you know your opponent will be attempting the next turn or later this turn. Okay, so if it's later this turn, maybe you want it at the same mission if they're going to do a double attempt. And if it's the next turn, you either have to think, are they not going to have that mission solved yet? Or I want to put it on the next mission my opponent will be going to. So, okay, yeah, this is I can see when you're like saying, okay, how do you cost a card? Like what is it? Someone said like it's hard to cost these things, right? And this is this is like the kind of exactly why. So it's either going to be very good. There's almost no downside to it, or you're going to completely whiff and you're going to give your opponent a free dilemma somewhere, right? So you could fail miserably on this thing. Man, you're going to have to be a really good player, I think, to take advantage of this. Um, and so that's kind of a shot against it already. But kind of, it's like it is a player's card, so if people like kind of micromanaging that aspect of the game, these might be pretty good for them. All right, next one. Another Harbinger dilemma. Okay, so same idea. Each dual dilemma revealed at this mission is cost +1. While your personnel are attempting a different mission, each dual dilemma revealed at that mission is cost -1. Okay. Uh, okay, so each duel at that mission you're putting this at is cost +1. And when they're attempting a different each duel is -1. Okay, so you want to have. Okay, this is another one you might where you could go in a couple different places. So if you're expecting to just keep giving them dual dilemmas at the same mission that you gave them Divisive Patron on, you want to put it somewhere else, right? Somewhere where you think your opponent's not going to go again. But if they are about to solve this mission, like they're going to solve it this turn, maybe you would put this dilemma at the current mission, and so wherever they go next, the duels are -1. Yeah. So again, you kind of have to be thinking ahead a little bit on this guy. Oh yeah, okay. So the other thing someone asked is like they don't do anything if they're at the last mission attempt. So this one will do something at the last mission attempt. So this would be good at the last mission attempt. I actually think this one should be good at the last mission attempt too. Yeah, that's okay. All right. All right. Well, let's go next one. Forewarned. Okay. We'll just talk about this one individually. Divisive Patron. Yeah, the effect. It's okay. Same thing with the anachronistic one. It's okay. You know, it's hard to tell. Like again, because it could be great for you. That could be just terrible. For the effect here, the duels. I don't know. It would have been much cleaner if it was just all dilemmas. Regardless. Like this one kind of um, says, "Hey, playing dual dilemmas is good," which I think that's kind of the wrong uh, message, maybe. I think dual dilemmas are kind of overplayed, so not really liking the effect on this one anyway. Okay, forewarned. Actually, this one I remember I liked. Okay, so the same thing with the Harbinger. When this dilemma is overcome, if you do not command a ship at this mission, dilemma's owner scores 5 points. Okay, so you're gonna be putting it somewhere. You're ideally gonna be putting it somewhere your opponent is not going to have a ship, which would give you 5 points. Or you could try to be basically coercing them into going to a particular mission, I suppose. As like that would be that would be hilarious. You basically convince them to go out to some force ban mission somewhere and get stranded. Yeah, I mean the possibilities on that aren't that great because it has to go on your opponent's mission, so you can't like self-seed a force ban gamma quadrant mission. That would have been pretty cool. Um, that's too bad. So yeah, so it's basically okay. So then that's really out of the option. Not really a big option. So it's give your I want to it's I'm gonna play this because I want to score 5 points. But you have to be kind of okay that your opponent will cancel it, right? So if your deck is like, oh, I go to 95 points and I get 5 points from forewarn, and it's obvious from your missions, your opponent would just be like, well, okay, I'm not going to get those 5 free points, right? So it has to be 5 points a year, not going to need, or maybe I guess you could say don't need, but it would be nice. Like, so if you had other around the corner strategies, and this was just like one of them, um, that would be good. Or if you're playing something that just burns through a lot of points, like Romulan Power Shift or something like that, and maybe this would be pretty good. So this is I actually kind of like this one. Um, yeah, I kind of like this one. Proclamation of Doom. Okay, another Harbinger dilemma. So you have to think like four different ways before you understand the card. Okay. When this dilemma is overcome, if an opponent commands a staff ship at this mission, they draw cards equal to this mission span. Uh, okay. Opponent commands. Okay, so this is okay. So the way card is going to work out is, um, you as the owner of this card will want to put this at your opponent's mission where you are going to have a staff ship. So if you expect to fly your ship to your opponent's mission, or maybe you do purposely for this card, when you're there, you can draw cards um, at the end of their next turn. So it would be yeah, a full turn away. Is that good for free dilemma? Mm, not really. Uh, maybe so if you'd want really low cost ships like runabouts or like Starfleet ships maybe because you're basically gonna have them do nothing. I suppose if you're also shooting someone, it's good. But if you're shooting someone, you're going to be shooting them at a mission that they want to solve, and so this becomes less good that way because you're basically giving them free dilemma the mission they're solving for just a couple cards. Interesting card. It's not good. I think drawings. It's easy to draw cards. You know, it's easy to draw cards. It's hard. It's harder to get past dilemmas sometimes. So it's not good, but it could be cute, I guess. All right, next one. Spoiler warning. All right, Harbinger again. Your opponent names a personnel. When the named personnel begins a mission, this mission return that person to their owner's hand. Okay, so this is basically saying it's like timescape for a person at a particular mission. Yeah, that's that. Okay, that's how it is. It's timescape for a particular person at a mission. Uh, I don't know. That's okay. It's not. It's not super good. I mean, when it when it hits it does its thing, it's gonna basically win you a game. Uh, Probably. I mean, yeah, I don't think you'd play it otherwise. So like when it works out, it's gonna be pretty insane. It's like it's gonna stop your opponent from doing a double attempt potentially if they can guess who's in the second crew. But then Timescape's just better. So right, so okay. Yeah, this isn't very good. I mean, so where is it different than Timescape? It's different than Timescape that it stops their next mission. Uh, is that no? So you basically have it. It's only ever better than Timescape on the on the basically attempt they're solving this mission. So like this is like, oh, I didn't draw enough to stop you. I wish I would have had another dilemma instead of this spoiler warning, right? So That's when it's best. Is when it was when it screws you over. Yeah, this is not good. Okay. Next one, bar brawl. Let's order these up too. Bar brawl. Okay, so this is okay. There's some stuff going on here. This is in. It's a assault interrupt. So that itself is relevant. Thanks to all available personnel. So it's kind of immediately relevant, just as a interrupt with the right keyword. Okay. And then it says, okay, order. Begin combat involving your 3 past Cleon personnel, comparing total cost instead of strength. When you're about to win, your opponent may prevent this combat and return each personnel involved to those hand. Okay. So your number 1, you have to have 3 past Cleons. So that's a little pretty restrictive right there already. And it also assures that you're going to be committing a large number of people to this combat. So you, at least 3 people. If it was just like begin combat involving your Cleon, you could be like a one. You could just do a 1 versus 1 or something like that. So immediately it's you have to commit quite a bit to it. Comparing cost instead of strength, whatever. I mean, you're either going to know you're going to win or you're going to lose. If it's cost or strength. I mean, it'd be better for strength, but it's fine. Okay, when you're about to win, your opponent may prevent this combat and return each person involved to their owner's hand. If you win, score 10 points. Okay, so your opponent gets to decide if they want to give you 10 points or have a bunch of personnel get returned to hand. What are they gonna do? Well, it depends how important the 10 points is, I guess. Like if the 10 points is win the game, they're going to not let you win the game. So it has to be points you want for stuff to not necessarily win the game. I mean, I guess, yeah. Why would no one's going to let you win the game? So you have to have points you want to be spending on stuff. So Cleons have a few things. All-out war to fight them more. That's kind of interesting. So it's kind of this pairs with all-out war in that way. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. Yeah. So basically, you're either going to return a bunch of people, potentially be devastating, right? You could potentially return everyone, or they give you 10 points, which in that case, like, hey, I'm not gonna give you all of my people. I'll give you 10 points instead. And they're like, okay, well, that was cool. Now all out war comes. So you're basically paying the cost of a battle to be able to do 2 all out wars, I guess is how you want to look at it. Nah, there's better ways. There's a card that just you win a battle, you score 10 points. Ba. Ba does it better. Yeah, I mean, I guess, the only thing is if you're really intently fighting them elsewhere, like if you're hitting them with other battle cards, they can't afford to give you the people, and so they kind of walk into all out war. That yeah, I mean, it has to go in a really heavy. It has to go in It has to basically go in a really really heavy battle deck. Yeah, only thing it really goes into. Yep. All right. But okay, in that. Next, we're at Gateway. I'll flip the mission. Okay, we can do that here. Nice. Gateway Flee and Terror. Temporal mission, honor, med, physics, transporters, and strength. So anyone can attempt it. Kind of interesting set of skills. None of them typically are you don't see a lot. Those aren't skills you would see on one person for sure. It's gonna there's I would almost guess no person on the game has those four skills in that and strength that doesn't suck basically. So interesting set of mission, interesting set of skills. So might not be easiest to solve, but you only need 32 strength. Big deal. Okay, when you solve, you can flip it. So this is where the good stuff comes in, I suppose. Okay, we go to planet. It says, okay, so it has requirements but cost 0. Okay, so okay. I was told that you solve. I was told how this works is you when you solve the mission, you just get the points, and it still counts as the same type of mission, right? So you're you got the 30 points, you got the solve planet mission still, no even after you flip it for your win condition. But just kind of the stuff over here changes. Like I don't know, maybe it matters. Um, so you got to so you're still temporal, and then that I don't think it matters here. But it says the start. Okay, the other thing I guess is there's no personnel may attempt this mission, so you can't kind of do weird stuff. People are asking about if you can do weird stuff to kind of resolve. You can't do it probably. Okay, so how it's supposed to work. Then at the start of each opponent's turn, if their personnel on this mission have the sorry. All right, I'll grab some water after this. But okay, if you're so if you're at the start of each opponent's turn, if the, these are so hard to read, I just lose my voice almost. At the start of each opponent's turn, if their personnel on this planet have this mission's printed requirements, flip this mission. Otherwise, you place a personnel who costs 2 or less from your discard pile where he or she can be played. Okay. So, at the start of your opponent's turn, they have to have people there to flip it back. Or something happens. Okay. So, or you as the owner of this card get to put a personnel onto your headquarters basically from your discard pile. So your opponent has to basically spend resources of like that's probably at least 4 personnel. So at least 4 personnel to stop you from getting 2 costs person. And you're gonna get that for sure for 1 turn anyway. No one's gonna ever stop this. I mean, it's not worth stopping. You would have to have absolutely nothing to do with your a good number of crew people to turn this off. Like you would have to be on your last mission, and if it's timescaped, and you're just like, well, I can't do anything else, so I might as well turn this thing off. That's the only time you're ever gonna turn this thing off. So you're gonna solve this mission, and you're gonna get basically a retrieval every turn, unless your opponent is playing like just in they have to kill all your personnel type of deck. But still, I don't even know if that's worth it. God, yeah. It's basically the mission basically reads, uh, if this mission is solved, you can put a 2-cost personnel back in your discard pile every turn. That's basically what it reads. uh, so it's pretty good mission for then, but it's kind of a lot of stuff for flipping a mission just for that kind of weird, not that great effect. All right, let's get on the next one. We're on Oh, did I go out of order? No, it just something weird's here going on here. All right, we're at Nakgul Prime. This is kind of a. Those requirements seem a little more common on the same personnel. Anthro Engineer Exophysics. It's a cunning side, okay. So one is strength and one is cunning, so both probably hard. Not going to be easiest to put both in the same deck. Both the temporal missions, the requirements don't overlap either. So I think, yeah, no, they don't overlap. So gonna be hard to put in the same deck. So like those cards are like for each temporal mission. Those aren't gonna be too strong. Kind of tell. Yeah, but whatever. Okay. This one in particular, probably maybe a little easier to solve than the other one actually. But actually, I don't know. It's both not too easy to solve. But okay, what happens when you solve it? Okay, same kind of idea. There's some attributes from about the 20s of 0 here. Okay, the start of each opponent's turn, if their personnel. Okay, so it's the same idea. So they have to be on the planet. Your opponent's personnel have to be on the planet, like at least four people, probably again. Uh, Otherwise, you may take a dilemma from beneath this mission and place it beneath. Okay, so this effect is much stronger than. So it's either retrieve personnel for 2 or get a free dilemma. This one is probably quite a bit stronger. It does have a limit at some point. So if there's only like 3 dilemmas underneath to begin with, you're only going to get 3 from it. Oh, I guess I should say too for this one, the other one, you always get it the very right away because it's. I mean, unless your opponent is already sitting there waiting for this to flip, which is stupid, but you're gonna get a turn out of it anyway. This one I could see turning off. That's it's still a lot to just leave there to turn that off, but it's a pretty good effect. Free dilemma, and at least you mean probably at least one. That's pretty good effect. So this will see play. Yeah, for sure. That's pretty strong effect. The missions is a little hard to solve, but that's pretty good. You're gonna get one dilemma, probably more. Yeah. So it's planet now. Planet. You can solve planet first. Um, you can solve planet first. So actually, it's probably you have to figure out what affiliation to solve planet first, uh, and have good cunning. But whatever, and have non-aligns that can attempt it for you. Whatever uh, affiliation fits that bill, this will be a really good card for him. All right, let's move on to people. We got a blue dude, Andorian. That's cool. He's an admiral. That's cool. Uh, he's got a lot of cool icons. He's got the TOS and Earth and Pass, and he's a command star. Skills look good. Exo Law, Officer Physics, Science, and he's fives across the board, and he gets +1 for each temporal mission in play. So there's only 2 that exist, I believe. So he's going to be at most 7s across the board. It's okay. Exo Law, Officer Physics, Exo Law Physics. So he's got some skills for these missions. So yeah, maybe you could play maybe TOS with could do those. I don't know. Think about that one. All right, let's move on to the next guy. John Christopher, Blue J4. So he is TOS exclusively. He's got a pretty good stat line, 7.56 for 3, not bad. 6 skills. They seem good. Officer, also always nice for TOS. 7 integrity is good. Okay, what is this stuff? So, he's a temporal guy. You can play him at cost +1 to make the player on your left place the top card of their dilemma pile face up beneath your temporal mission. When he's killed, each player discards the top 3 cards of their deck. That just seems excessive, that part, but um oh, so he's a pretty decent 3, and he gets you a free dilemma beneath a mission. Yeah, he's good. He's good. That's easily worth it. Oh, and you can put it under the mission. You can put it under the mission that you know that you can move the dilemmas from. Yeah, that's good. That's clever. Engineer honor now. Do you have the skills for it? Engineer, not really. I don't know. Some else might have it, but it's also cunning, and he's a 5 cunning too. Oh, that's not good. Well, that's still probably. I mean, 4 for a free dilemma is probably worth it, even maybe. That needs a body too, so that's good. Interesting. Okay. Probably pretty good. I guess TOS is the affiliation that's going to be able to do those temporal missions. Oh yeah, obviously because of the one we all saw before. Why is it not sorting? Okay, there we go. Spock. We got 5 cost Spock. That's cool. I like high cost personnel. Wish there was more of them. Everyone, they always seem to want a reason to make personnel that are good cost less than they should, but I like it when they're. I like the big guns. You got to keep them safe, but I like the big guns. All right, this guy, Astro Engineer, Exophysics, Programming Science. That's a good skill set. Can't be stopped at temporal missions. So he can be killed, can't be stopped. He's got a 7/8/7 stat line. Is that a 5 cost personnel? Or is it overcosted? That's probably about right. That's probably about right. Yeah, that's probably about right. I mean, I was thinking there was a TOS person that lets you place a personnel, but I think it's the mere Spock that does it. So I was thinking, oh yeah, this would be another option for getting placed with Kirk, but I think it's mere Spock that does it. So that's too bad. So you're gonna have to pay full price for them. Maybe TOS starts running Energize and starts paying upgrades. That'd be cool. All right. Next one, Gonick. Gonick is a non-unique Cleon. He is passed. That matters. Acquisition, Arc, Engineer, Nav, Officer, Science, Treachery. Good skills. Pretty good skills. Actually, really good skills. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, he's non-unique. What's his game text say? When you play this personnel, you may choose an opponent to draw a card to make him cost -1. Oh yeah, okay. So this. Oh yeah, okay. This guy is the one that's pretty nutso. Yeah, so he's basically 3. I mean, he's often gonna be 2 cost. You're just gonna give yourself opponent a card. That's basically 2, and he's got so he's got great skills. He's got acquisition to go to pair with the 3 integrity. He's got treachery. for treachery Klingon stuff. He's got officer for officer stuff. He's got arc, which is rare and good. Engineer is rare and good. Science is rare and good. And nav is pretty common mission skill. So he's got basically 7 good skills for Cleons for 2. He's good. He'll see play for sure. All right, Carrid. Okay, so this is the one that looks like he's standing next to a whatever. Okay, all right. He is a 4 unique past. Okay, he's got 557 stat line. That's okay. So he's going in the strength deck. Um, Engineer, Geo, Officer, Security, Transporters. All those skills are good. Again, Engineer is good still. Transporters, extra transporters is always good if you're going rescue prisoners. Security, common mission skill. Geo is something Cleons need. They don't have a lot of. He's got good stat line, good skills. 4 is expensive, so his ability better be good. What is it? Okay, when you play this personnel, if you command 2 past Cleons, each opponent may place one of their personnel at their headquarters mission aboard one of their ships. Then you may choose one of their personnel to be killed at each. Okay. All right, so this is the one that goes if your opponent has 2 people at a headquarters that are just broadcasting abilities, one of them gets protected and you kill the other one. That's kind of like the simplest idea of the card. But it like a lot of these other cards, there's like this like other dual part of it that makes it kind of maybe even more relevant. Okay, the other dual part is that if if your opponent just hasn't left their headquarters yet, like if you play this personnel on turn 2, well, your opponent can't really save either of them, so you get to pick the one to die. So basically, if your opponent plays a very important personnel right away, you play this guy, you essentially, and they get killed, because even if they have a ship that's at the same mission, they're gonna die still. That's pretty good. Yeah. So basically want to get him early. Yeah. So if you get him early, he is going to be awesome. Well worth the 4 cost. Like you could take out a Kirk or something like that, right? So you get you kill opponent's Kirk and you bring this guy in play. Or let's say your opponent just played that 5 cost Spock but hasn't left headquarters yet. Dead, and you get the guy. So he's really good early. The late game, it's going to be totally situational. So it's a card that's really good early, really mediocre late. It's basically a high roll. Did I screw someone over with this guy or not? That's okay. I guess you could throw a bunch of them in your deck if you want to assure that, but maybe it's not worth it. But it's good. High roll, Cleon card. All right, Komal. Okay, this is the other 3. Okay, this is the other one. This is the 3 cost non-unique pass Cleon again. He has 6 skills instead of 7. But the skills are arguably better. Anthro, programming, and medical are all pretty common Klingon mission skills that they a lot of times don't have a lot of, or they're on very, a couple personnel, a couple other non-unique personnel that you need to throw a lot of in. But this one has some a little more interesting skills. The archaeology is pretty interesting. Um, the officer is very interesting as well. Engineer is something that's pretty rare. So he's pretty good on just on that line. Okay, so this is how you make him cheaper. You can make him cheaper by placing the top card of your dilemma pile beneath your opponent's mission. They may place the top card of theirs beneath yours to prevent this. Okay, so that's being complete. So you're okay. So this is kind of like the Harbinger. This is basically the Harbinger game text on like a double Harbinger game text on a personnel is essentially what this is to make them cost -2. So like, hey, like I'm gonna put this Harbinger dilemma here. Or, hey, I'm gonna put this Harbinger dilemma here, but you know, I mean, assuming they just go away. So you're going to, so if your opponent, if you know, basically, if you're not gonna put this, you're not gonna give them a free. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't give someone a free dilemma for 2 cost. Um, so you're probably not gonna do that unless you're really sure that the mission you're gonna put under is a joke. But you have to have no joke missions too, because your opponent can just put it beneath your joke mission. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, I guess. Uh, so if you're playing legit, I guess you could say you could solve all your missions. He's 1 cost if you're not playing legit. He's no, if you are no, that's not how it works. So if you're playing legit, it's a referendum on your opponent. Is your opponent playing legit? Because if they're not playing legit, you're not going to use them. Okay. That's a referendum on your opponent. Um, but if you're also scumbagging, it's not that good either. So you okay, so you play him with scumbag missions or without scumbag missions? Because you can't control your opponent, they may or may not. So, but do you play him with scumbag missions, or does it matter? All right, I think it just these are some weird. Yeah, so I think you would not place you. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to play scumbag missions with this. Sorry, tripping out a little bit on this guy. All right, let's go next one. Crass, Bellicose Commander. Get a little late here, I guess. All right. Pass Cleon, good skills. 667 stat line, that's not bad. When you play this personnel, you may return any number of events. Okay, this guy is like okay, but he's really strong for a particular combo. So he's really strong to pull back uh, strategic tug of war, which can be used for a lot of really OP battle stuff right now. So that's where he is super strong in. But otherwise, he's probably okay. I mean, I don't know. His. It's like the strategic tug of war thing. If there are a lot of dilemmas out there that are really good when they can be replayed, this guy will be bonkers. If there are not, like I think strategic tug of war off the top of my head is the best one you can do because it's basically a can it like almost wins you a game if you can pull out that particular combo. But if there's other ones like that that are kind of super good, but little not as common, this guy will be even better because you're gonna he just can open up a lot of stuff that way. I mean, I mean, if that's the case, you almost could run like dual headquarters just for this guy. So that's pretty strong. He's basically a combo waiting to be broken, or part not a combo, but he would be a pretty big part of a combo waiting to be broken. Let's see if he does. Okay, Woteen, Wotelin, Whattelin. Okay. Okay. Again, pretty good stat line. Cleon, pass Cleon, 3 cost. Non-unique. Got pretty boss skills, I would say. Diplomacy is good. Geo's still good. Astro, intelligence, law, transfer. Yeah, got boss skills. He's 667. And how does he get cost less? So when you play him, you can choose opponent's discard pile. You may choose a person on opponent's discard pile they do not command. Oh, this is worded so weird. It's like, I get to choose. I will prevent that choose. Or what is it? Oh god, it's such a worded so weird. So you're gonna choose a personnel. Like I just chose a person. They're cost -2, which is like a weird thing because like, oh, I get to pick someone and I get to make a -2. But now your opponent can place that personnel in your brig to prevent the choosing. This is where it is so bad. You may choose a personnel to prevent this. Prevent. Well, I guess it's preventing the costs minus to make this. I think the this and actually that's. I think actually think that this in that next sentence is actually referring to the choose, but in how you would read this in real English, but we're playing 2 English, I guess, and that doesn't make sense, so it has to be the cost. All right, so you're preventing a cost. You're preventing a cost -2. And to do that, I have to put that personnel in your brig. So you basically say, give me brig or give me 1. And your opponent goes, yeah, I'm not playing this guy anymore, so you can go in the brig. Or, ooh, I think you're gonna do mean stuff to me in the brig, so I'll give him out 1. So you want to play him in capture deck? Oh yeah, and this one works pretty well with the KCA stuff because he is. Yeah, I guess all these non-unique Cleons can be played in KCA decks. That's kind of an important feature. This guy would be the best, I think, of the. I don't know. I mean, the other guys, one of the guys has insane skills. This guy would probably be the best of the 3 because or at least because it plays off their shtick of brig stuff. That's pretty good. D. Jammet. Mr. D. Jammet is a 2 2 cost non-unique command passed. Okay. All right. Like his best thing about him is I can tell he's got 3 integrity and acquisition. And he gets attributes +1 for each harbinger dilemma. He's got good skills. He's got pretty dope skills for a 2 cost. But his attributes suck, but they get better for harbinger dilemmas. Uh, so this guy is good if you have a hard-on for Harbinger Dilemmas, but actually gets less good if you really have a hard-on because you want to keep him at 4 integrity, I think. That's weird. So that means he probably sucks. That's too bad. Kind of interesting. Maybe someday. Alright. Edith Keeler must die. Okay, so this is the one that I've had an opinion on, but let's kind of think about this through a bit on there. So she's got a good integrity stat line for 2. No no other icons, but she is a temporal person with the Anthro 2 honor med skills. Those are decent. The 2 honor is good for honorable pursuit. Anthro med is useful, I think, for a couple missions, so that's not that bad. Human, so I guess she could be a Mars racist. I don't even know how that works. Maybe I don't know. Okay, when you play a card, you may reduce its cost using the game text of your missions as if they were complete. If you do, at the end of that turn, the opponent on your left may discard cards from hand or remove this person from the game. Okay, so you can basically use cost minus game text of missions for this personnel. So if you have the thing that makes your maneuver events cost -1, you have her in play, all your maneuvers are cost -1, even before you solve that mission. That's kind of cool. Plays out. That's kind of an interesting effect. There's probably like combos of ones like this is a assault and a maneuver card, and if I play both those missions, you get both the effects. That's kind of cool. Could be pretty interesting. Okay, but this is where I think it gets less cool. So if you do reduce the cost of a card, actually, I guess the way she is because it's when you play a card. If you do, or as I guess the if you do must be referring to the may part of the playing a card. I mean, technically, I don't know. I think this is worded wrong again. I think the if you do is tied to when you play a card. So I guess whenever you play a card, no, I guess you have to reduce cost. It's bad writing. Okay. If you do, at the end of that turn, the opponent on your left may discard 3 cards from hand to remove this person from the game. So, okay, your opponent can basically shut her off when you use her by discarding 3 cards. And she goes removed from the game, not just to the discard pile. That's a little sad. So you're basically might get a turn out of her. Like if your deck is like solely revolving around this ability, your opponent's gonna shut it off immediately. If it's like 1 card, 2 cards, you probably don't turn it off. So you're basically just it's if you're playing like a light version of any of those cost minus missions, she's okay. All right, Shrass. Andorian, that's cool. Past Andorian. Uh, 3 cost command star as well. Okay, he's got looks like a pretty good stat line. 675. Cunning is good. Is that the new? It's not really the. That's not really the classical Andorian stat line, isn't it? Shran the low integrity. Or I guess moderate of moderate integrity of certainly below average cunning and 6 strength. This guy has kind of flipped that, so he's the smarter versions of the Andorians apparently. Where the smart ones that are not Shran are smarter but weaker. Okay. And they're a little more honorable. Maybe this is kind of post Shran friendship, so yeah, they're friends now. Okay. But he says when this person is facing a dilemma, you may make him gain a skill required by opponent's mission worth 40 or more points until the end of that dilemma. So if your opponent is playing high cost, high cost or high point missions, you're going to be able to gain a skill from that mission on that dilemma. So, like if your opponent is playing a ton of missions with a ton of 50, 40-point missions with a ton of skills, this person now becomes kind of a pseudo Gav. Mm, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I guess it's kind of a we're gonna make a meta card against 40 pointers, but I mean, I don't know. They're not that good, so whatever. So he just might work or might not do anything. It might just be a 3 cost of that stat line, which is decent. Um, Only gonna go in a deck where those skills are super necessary. Okay, let's move to the other guy that looks like an Endorian, Thelev. He is a non-aligned. Okay, again, he's the. They must have said like, oh man, we have all this. Everyone's playing this fucking nothing to lose dilemma. So let's make a bunch of acquisition people with low integrity to get around it. Oh, we solved the problem. Okay, so that's his big thing. Looks like other skills are average. He's got keywords that's probably gonna be relevant: assassin, infiltrator, and thief. Okay, when an opponent begins a mission at this mission, you may destroy an event in your core to draw 1 extra dilemma and spend 1 extra. Um. Okay, so that's the effect of under suspicion. Well, not under. I think under suspicion is just. I don't know. Okay, so you're gonna get 1 extra. You're basically gonna get a 1 extra dilemma if he's there. If you destroy your event. What if that event was a unexpected difficulties and you could have just drew 8 more dilemmas? Uh, I don't know. Yeah, what are you gonna destroy that's worth playing? You can't destroy rituals. Uh, I would probably say if you want to spend extra on dilemmas, just play the cards that spend extra on dilemmas, and you don't need to destroy them for 1 extra. Okay. Yeah. Leotis. He's not good. Leotis. This is the. We're getting close. This is the Riemann, who's got. I think it's probably. I mean, it's just a good card. It's it's past Romulan. Past Romulan is very relevant. Relevant to get the Galgathon out. Relevant for weapons and shields on the bird of prey. He's a Riemann, also very relevant for shock troops. Um, and the scimitar, and the freaking ship you can get down to 0. So that's very relevant. He's got 8 strength. That is superb. He's got high integrity as well, which is helpful. The honor's good. I think the honor's good. Honor could be bad because it competes against treachery versus issue of trust, but it's not issue trust actually isn't that big of a deal for Romans, I think. Um, anymore. I think a lot of their good ones aren't necessarily the same ones they've always had. And he's got Anthro-Geo and Security. So those are all good skills as well. The Geo is super important for the dilithium mines. Security is pretty common. Mission skill Anthro is a good. Oh, he's basically Anthro's good. He's basically Talvin without the officer. Costs one, has the extra skill, costs one more, and has more strength and integrity actually too. So that's and Talvin gets played a lot. So this guy is kind of better than him in almost every way for one more cost. He's pretty damn good. It's gonna get played a lot. Jane Taylor. This was the one that when you read a Harbinger dilemma, you can kill yourself. All right, yeah, since he's a pretty uh basic Karen that's Karen in about these Harbinger dilemmas, she don't really like him at all. So she's gonna go kill herself over it. 566 for one, always gonna be decent. She's got the same skills as Persis. People like Persis' skills, so they probably like her. So she'll get played as just his personnel, and maybe once in a blue moon she'll take care of a Harbinger dilemma. All right, Jamil, the Einar, Einar, Anus. Oh goodness. Okay, so 3 cost Starfleet. Already pretty good skills. Geo, honor, nav, programming, telepathy. I like that. She's got a good integrity stat line, 754. 4 strength actually, I think is good for adopted authority. I think adopted authority is less than 5, so that's actually good for her. When this person begins a mission, attempt at a mission that requires integrity, which is you're going to be doing with her, your opponent's non-mission cards cannot add or subtract from the number of dilemmas drawn or the total cost spent on dilemmas this mission attempt. So the non-mission cards. So okay, well that's just gonna okay. Then that's for TCS. Okay, that's basically like other than TCS, you can't draw or spend more. Okay, so she probably had that. She probably had that like you can't add or subtract, and someone's like, "But TCS." They're like, "Fine, we'll write it in here." Stupid mission. I mean, it's a good mission, but it creates a bunch of weird crap like this stuff. Um. Anyway, so she's gonna stop like delirium. I saw like one guy played 3 delirium against me. And it was so annoying. So she's gonna stop that crap, which might happen some games. So it's gonna be kind of a aha when I got it, and you have to be doing Starfleet integrity. I don't know. I haven't seen a good Starfleet integrity, but I guess it's probably possible. So she would actually be a good card in that deck that doesn't exist. Okay. Okay, so I guess Amar. Okay, so this is Krass's ship. It's a Katinga class. I like that. So it's easy to staff. It's got a 777 stat line. It's like a really wants to be a scary ship, but it's Katinga. But is it scary? Okay, let's go through it. To play the ship, you must command 2 past Cleons. Okay, so it's make it a little hard to play it off the top, but okay, we can deal with that. What's the order? Destroy any number of hand weapons aboard the ship to make it attributes +2 until the end of this turn. The opponent on the left may destroy an equal number of their equipment to prevent this. Okay, so this is the one you sacrifice your bat list to. So you have a bunch of bat lists that you played for reasons. There's reasons to play them, but you got some bat lists down. They essentially cost you the counter to draw them. This card is basically like spend one counter at of a particular time in a particular place to make it a 9/9/9 until the end of the turn. Maybe another one for an 11. Yeah, it's okay. Uh, that's okay. If you are playing something where you're playing with a lot of little ships, and I mean that's the problem is like there's not like this would be a good card in a world where having a bunch of ships was useful other than just destroying a ship. Okay, so then that means that's the deck this is for. And okay. It's pretty good for that purpose. Okay, so it's good as like the second ship to come in to destroy an opponent's ship, especially if you need the attributes on this one for the boost to get the kill. Like if your opponent's playing a Borg cube and you're like, shit, Borg cube, I just need to land this pierce shields or something, and I gotta boost this guy up. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, I like that card. Clan, is Clan Destruction good? Hasn't been good for a while. I mean, probably is. They have Kruge, so yeah. Maybe we see Kruge come back. That would be fun for everyone. Last card of the set, the Memenda. Or Meme Enda. It's Meme Enda. Meme NDA. Oh, that's how it is. It's a meme NDA. All right. Meme NDA says, okay, you also have to have two. Oh, so you kind of off the top, it's like a D7, which is super cool, and it's a Ryman D7. It's got the D7 stat line, two command stars, the 876. Okay, well, that's all right. So just like it's already kind of cool. Um, so when you play the ship, you have to have two past Ryman, so it's got the same requirement as Galgathon, which is it's not the easiest thing. That's definitely not an easy thing to pass. Leotis helps, but that's not the easiest requirement, and you definitely don't want to be sitting there waiting to go out of attempt missions, and you're just like, shit, I can't draw my second copy of P-Tol so I can get this in play. Yeah, so that's rough. That can happen. But when you play this, then you can reveal an opponent's hand for each equipment and ship revealed. It's cost -1. So this one's gonna be just kind of random and it happens. Like maybe you get it for 2, probably. Yeah, and so it's basically I don't know. You'd have to look at like there's not gonna be like a certain time in the game you want it necessarily, or um, yeah. So it's just kind of just like, did I get lucky with the hand? It does actually make me think about, is there ever room back for the plasma energy weapon, the card that made you, or as a Ryman player, just made your opponent draw 5 cards and then put them back. It was only good for a brief moment of time where Galgathon could just use its thing infinite number of times its turn, and you just mill opponent that way. But it hasn't really seen play since. It's just like one extra card that makes that okay worth playing. I don't know. You'd have to have a pretty steep mill deck. Can Romulan play a pretty steep hand mill deck? Maybe. Maybe. I've been playing Galgathon. I just played Galgathon recently. Did okay with hand mill. Don't have a ton of it, but I guess if you really focused on hand mill, um, this is a pretty good second ship with to go with Galgathon. Because you're going to be using Galgathon every turn, you want to be using this as your free, very cheap ship um, to actually solve missions while you're getting down off. So this is actually probably really good in that deck. Maybe. Sorry, future opponent, you're going to see a new version of Galgathon. All right, and with that, we're gonna end the review. Long review. Set. This is decent. Couple pretty cool cards in there. Some ones that made me really have to think too hard, which I don't like. Some I have pretty good ideas for combos. Some that are gonna make some just decks a little stronger. Should be interesting. We're playing a online release event here coming up. I think it begins on the 4th, so I shall try to post this before then. So you can sign up for it. You can try out some of these cards that we talked about tonight. That, take care.